Most people planning to build a CRM open up a tutorial from 2019 and give up by step 3. Forget all that. Today, we're starting a full CRM build from scratch using Claude as the only developer. No boilerplate, no starter templates, no code editor gymnastics. By the end of this video, you'll have a fully designed CRM shell, pushed to GitHub, and deployed live on the internet. This is part 1 of a build series, and it all starts with one prompt. You guys are excited as I am to get started on this project. So what I have open right now is Claude Code. So we're going to be using Claude Code, which is the desktop version of Claude. And then there's 3 selections you could choose from. Usually at the top right here, it'll say chat, cowork, or code. So go ahead and click into code. Now, the next thing we're going to do is have to choose where we want to start this project. So it's a pretty long script, but this is going to be the starting place for our CRM build. So build me the foundation of a CRM application using React and Byte. So these are the languages we're going to be using. This is the visual shell only, no features, no data, no API calls, just the design system and layout. So this is the tech stack that we're going to be using. And the good thing about this is, once again, you do not have to understand any of it. I'm doing the prompting for you. And in these videos, in the series that I'm creating, you can literally follow along to build your CRM for your company. And if you get lost, you can always reach out to me personally for help. Next, we have the design system. So we have a couple fonts in here, color palettes, and these features can always be changed later. So don't worry too much about it right now. We're also going to have a couple things in our sidebar, right? Such as dashboard, leads, contacts, deals, just things that we may want in that CRM later. So let's go ahead and run this and see what it does. Also, currently Opus 4.7 is turned on extra high. Now, keep in mind that this will run your credits down pretty quickly. Although it's one of the smartest models that just came out, you can also use, I would say, Sonnet 4.6 if you notice your credits are going pretty fast and you don't really have too many left. But we're going to run it on Opus 4.7 here. Now keep in mind, you do not have to screenshot this video to get the prompt. You can actually click the link below this video in the description to access all of these prompts completely free so that you can follow along on these builds. Now, as you can see right here, it says the index is now visible in the launch preview panel. So what I'm going to do is come over to my right corner, click this and click preview. All right, and after a while, you should actually start to see it working. So now we can actually see our CRM coming to life. Now, this, of course, is the visual components of it, but we can see our total leads, active deals, revenue, and meetings this week. Now, none of this is wired up just yet, but we do have an idea of the visual aspects that we want. So this is exciting. This is the first step. And this is somewhere that you can actually start playing around with colors. You can start playing around with icons, or even what you want on your actual dashboard here. So for an example, let's say we want to change the orange color. So for an example, let's say we want to change the orange color to red. It's really that simple. As you can see, we now have the red color instead of the orange. So you guys can play around with this, customize it to what you like, color-wise, font-wise, and even icon-wise. And the next thing we need to do is actually wire this up so that we can have it on a live server. Because if we look up here, we can see that it says local host. And what that means is it's based off of your computer. So it's not on the internet yet. It's literally just using your computer to host the files. So if you were to try to send this link to someone to view your actual website, it wouldn't load. So to make this live, we're going to have to use something called GitHub. Think of GitHub as a platform to host your files. And it's going to allow you to make changes. It's going to allow you to make versions to your code. And it's also going to keep track of it. So if you ever need to revert back to a previous version of it, you can. So let's sign up for a new account. All right, so for an example, you can see that this is what the dashboard will look like once you log into GitHub. All we need to do is come over here and click new. Once we click new, we just simply need to give our repository a name. So don't get too caught up on the name and being confused on what a repository is. It's just basically where your files will be hosted. So for an example, I'm going to do CRM underscore build example. Okay, since this is for an example, we'll do that. Now, all you have to do, you can leave this alone for right now and just click create repository. Eventually you will want to make this private and you can control who can see your files and all that stuff. But at the moment, we don't want to do that because it's going to make it harder for Claude to actually get access to it. All right, so what we want to do now is copy this link. So we can either highlight it or click over here. Next, we want to go back to Claude. And now we need to go to our connection. We want to click on customize and then come to connectors. As you can see, I already have certain connectors hooked, but what we're going to do, if you already have GitHub hooked, you're going to disconnect it. And if you don't have it hooked yet, you can search it in this menu. And as you can see, it popped up here. So once you click on it, click connect, and then it's going to sync to whatever GitHub account you're logged into on the internet. So let's authorize Claude. Redirecting to desktop app, open desktop, open Claude. And now we can see that our GitHub connection is hooked. So now what we're going to do is go back to our chat. All right. And then what we're going to type in is push this project to GitHub repository. All right, and then we're just going to copy this link. So because we gave access already to GitHub, what this is going to do is let Claude know which repository to actually put this code on. And I'm just clicking allow. So when it pops up with the message, you can click always allow. Another thing you can do is click down here, accept edits, change it to bypass permissions. Now just keep in mind that if you do change it to that, technically Claude could make other decisions on your computer based off of this Claude code chat. So you just want to be careful with that. Now you can see good, I'm in CRM series. Let me stage commit and push this. And if you click on repositories, you'll see the actual push that you just did. So we can see our CRM build example. So now these are all the files that we just created so far on Claude. Now the next thing we're going to do is hook GitHub to Vercel, and Vercel is where it's actually going to be hosted. So we're going to come over to Vercel, and this is what it looks like. So you can either log in with your GitHub account, create an account through the sign up, etc. So let's go ahead and log in. All right, and then you'll see a list of all the files and Git repositories that you already have created. So here we can see the CRM build example. So what we're going to do is go ahead and import this. All right, we can just do it into my projects. We can leave all this alone at the moment and just click deploy. All right, so we just pushed that new update. And as we can see now in Vercel, a new deployment was created. And we can actually see the dashboard now. So let's go back over to domains. Let's click it again. Nice. So now we can actually see our dashboard. We can interact with it. It actually looks really cool. So once again, nothing is wired up just yet. So the next thing we're going to start doing is actually adding features to this CRM. That's the foundation. One prompt gave us the design system, the layout, and the full dashboard shell. One push, put it on GitHub. One click, made it live on Vercel. Every episode from here stacks on top of this. Next up, we connect a database and add real authentication. If you want to keep building with us, hit the link in the description. burnintm.com/YT gets you into the free community, the newsletter, and every resource from this series. Subscribe so you don't miss the next build. As always, I appreciate you. See you on the next one.